It's just different.
You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've seen. Live your life, not mine. If you know what I mean. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've seen. Live your life, not mine. If you know what I mean. They don't know, you don't know, we don't know. Life is funny, things we do to get money. Hardships, hard times, and these days, these situations, they be sticky like honey. If it ain't Corona, they trying to clone ya. What happens to the little girl that went missing from her home? Her own daddy keep touching her. Daddy, leave me alone. I ain't got the answers. Trying to get justice for George Floyd. And if Bill Gates got the cure, make sure he got one for cancer. We screaming stop the violence, but who we asking? The killer the same color as the one in the casket. I'm no preacher, spitting hard facts like bleachers. Make America great again. It's only for the rich leeches. Where's Felicia? I guess black reparations with the new prisons and new police substations. For black justice they be debating. We gotta wake up, but I'm going back to back. I'm on one. Cold cases still hot in the hood, cause the nigga that did it, he still home, son. I'm my own rapper, but got a new balance. Rest in peace to all the young fallen soldiers. Didn't get a chance to show the world their talents. I'm so focused, trying to save the nation. Seeing the road ahead like a full focus. You don't know what I've been through.
It's like that.
You don't know what I've seen.
It's like that.
Live your life, not mine.
It's like that.
If you know what I mean.
It's like that.
You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've seen.
Yeah.
Live your life, not mine. If you know what I mean. They don't know. You don't know. We don't know.
Life is a bitch and death is a motherfucker. You can't trust a mother, cause people be motherfuckers. They stab you in your back and they smile up in your face. They do whatever it takes to have another place. The population polluted and robbing and shooting. Their mental state be diluted. They owe them all that they booted. Now how you only 17 and you looking 35. It's a wonderful time in this life to be alive. You better get your together, stop wasting your time, cause time waits for no one. No person, place, or no thing. Yeah, it go fast, motherfucker. It go fast.
You don't know what I've been through.
It's like that.
You don't know what I've seen.
It's like that.
Live your life, not mine.
It's like that.
If you know what I mean.
It's like that.
You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've seen. Live your life, not mine. If you know what I mean. They don't know. You don't know. We don't know.
Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. Happy Thursday to y'all. It's your host with the most, man. Phocuz Field of Phocuz Radio. And we are in the building. Beltway Radio and Beyond.com. You already know what it is, man. Simple as ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. And it's going to be a somber show tonight right here on Phocuz Radio, man. We got so much stuff going on in the city. Just senseless, man. Senseless gun violence. We have people, especially our black and brown children, man, that continuously go missing every single day. Like I say, every Thursday, every week before I start my show, I try to go on a missing people in DC website. And like I said, every day, every Thursday, that I go on that website, man, we have more and more children and adults that are missing. We have so many cold cases from years ago, and people are still missing. Family members are still hoping that they get some type of closure, still hoping that their loved ones come home, especially the babies, man. When I say babies, I'm talking about young kids, teenagers. Another crazy case that I want to bring up is the case of Lachelle Jordan. If you all can remember, last week I did a show. Every Thursday, platform is centered around the missing and murdered community, and I spoke on Lachelle Jordan, who actually went missing in Cleveland, Ohio. She, I'm not sure if she still is after this situation, but an EMT worker. She was missing. And the story was that she was walking to her vehicle and walking to her vehicle to get something out of her vehicle and just never returned. So I try to stay updated and follow up as much as I can with my audience and with the facts. And if I don't know, I keep it short and brief. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the one out here, man, that's just talking. Just because we got lips. We got a lot of people out here, man, that do that, just talking just because they got lips, and anything may come out. But make a long story short story long, she did return, which was a great thing, and it was a guy by the name of Stennett who was charged earlier this month with one felony count of stalking, one felony count of violating the protection order. He was taken into custody on May 8th and held on a $100,000 bond. The thing about it is she returned. She returned home, and let me see here. Well, she was found. We'll say returned, found. Kind of the same thing. I guess when you find something, you return it. Found it and give it back, whatever it may be. But in this case, we're talking about people. Jordan was found last Thursday. The circumstances around this missing persons case remains unclear. She was seen walking into a convenience store barefoot with torn clothes. She asked, could she make a call to the police? The convenience store, open pantry, located in Cleveland, Ohio, roughly 3 miles from where she was last seen. So she was seen walking into the convenience store, asked could she make a phone call, clothes are ripped, she has on slippers. This investigation is ongoing. Once again, Joseph Jordan has said his daughter, which is the father, was hospitalized with unspecified injuries and is getting medical treatment, but she's going to be okay as inspected. It's an investigation into this case. It could be of a kidnapping. I'm hearing rumors that Lachelle could have made, this story up. I'm hoping that it didn't happen that way. The best part about it is that she did return home. I'm going to do some follow-up. I'm going to do some updating on this case. I just wanted to let you all know, because it was a big case, man. It was media. It was all over the news. It was all online, man. It was everywhere. And we don't only talk about the cases within the DMV, man, but we are beyond the Beltway. So we are nationwide, I would say. So sometimes I would speak on the cases that are not, like I say, once again, only here, but all over the world. So this case has struck me. I'm thinking of a young EMT worker, a mom. Like, what could have happened? We have cases that happen like this, though, all the time. And the thing about it is, like I say, everything is under further investigation. This guy, like I say, he basically didn't follow through with the protection order. Let me see. He didn't follow through with the protection order. That was one thing. He was charged, and also, charged with stalking. So he did break the law, in so many different ways. It sounds like maybe a crazy boyfriend is what I'm thinking. I don't know if I would say, I don't know yet. We don't know yet if she was kidnapped. We just know that she was reported as a missing person. But she did return home. After further investigation, man, I'll follow up and have some updates for you all. And if you all got any information, I read y'all comments all the time. And like I said, man, I've seen a lot of different comments online. So like I say, man, once again, I will be getting as much information as I can between tonight and tomorrow about this case, and I will let you all know. So in the meantime, between time, we do the leg work, man. We do the leg work. And when I say the leg work, meaning in the trenches, car to car, door to door, person to person, putting out flyers, keeping your story, keeping your loved one missing person story alive, showing a flyer weekly on the show. And like I say, what I have been doing now, and I've been going back to some of the cases and the flyers that the children or adults still haven't been found. So every now and then, I would put an old flyer out there that you probably have seen. But if you see the flyer, that means that the person hasn't been found. So once again, man, like I say, hit me up. Feel free. We Facebook Live right now. Phocuz Phil. And as you can see, that's Phocuz. I've been seeing a lot of people, man, with Phocuz. They spell it different. They do all type of things with it, but you can't. It's Phocuz, man. We stamped over here, and I've been dumping it for quite a long time, man, with this Phocuz thing. So once again, man, I wanted to open it up with that particular case because it's just puzzling. It's puzzling to me. Where did she come from? Who was she with? Was she with this particular guy? Maybe. We don't know. So, they know so many things that we don't. I want to tell people, man, when they're doing these cases and things, man, they know so much, so they have information that we don't know of or they're not releasing to the public because it's under investigation. So also keep that in mind. Once again, we are live right now on Facebook, man. It's the best way to see the show, or beyondthebeltwaveradio.com is the website. You already know what it is. Like I said, I told you guys it was going to be a somber show tonight. Some shows can be exciting. Some shows can be entertaining, fun. Some can be sad. All the above. But go to my next story, and this ties into the mental health part 2 that we'll be talking about today, featuring Boo Jones. And 35-year-old lady in Fairmont, I think Fairmont Street, in Northwest, she was shot in the back of her head. The thing about it is the person that shot her was locked up but then released due to mental issues. These two were friends. I don't know what happened. I think they got into it. They got into an argument. And there was some words exchanged as far as we're going to kill you, kill your whole family, kill your kids, and all that. You dig what I'm saying? And this lady identified as 35-year-old Tierra Corbett. Like I say, with gunshot wounds, man, she died. Like I say, was shot to the head. Her body was transported to the chief medical examiner. And they do that, when a person dies, to find out the reason of death and how that person died. We do know that, like I say, this person was shot in the head, happened in Northwest Washington, D.C. I'm sure some more details will come out surrounding this, but as we know right now, that lady was actually released that did that. Once again, man, be very careful with this social media, man. Be very careful with people making threats. I don't take kindly to that at all with threats because you never know what state of mind a person is in. You never know if a person is real or a person is faking. And in this case, you see what happened. So things were exchanged back and forth between the two on social media once again. And a person ended up shot in the head, dead. Her daughter, from what I heard, is going to prom either this weekend or next weekend. We doing a high school graduation. Shout out to all my high school graduates and all my people going to prom and all that good stuff, man. I'm all about the youth, man, and just pushing them forward and pushing a positive envelope, as they say. But wow, man, it's just wow. Mother's Day. This past Mother's Day? Not Mother's Day was made like last weekend, right? Mother's Day, man, and for us to lose a 10-year-old, I'll get into that story also a little later on in the show. But just for us to lose, man, we lost a 17-year-old, we lost a 10-year-old, we lost a 35-year-old. All this within a time span of Mother's Day. So we all have a mother, whether here or maybe resting in paradise at the moment. So, we have 3 that has lost a child. And this is all due to senseless gun violence. I'm just tired of just keep talking about it, man. And it's just nothing being done. What do we do? I don't know. Toughen the gun laws. That don't mean nobody gonna carry a gun. Like I said, once again, this social media thing, man, with the bullying, the mental aspect of it, and people act on it, especially our youth. And some turn to social media not having anyone to look up to, not having the best influence within their home, or going out and being influenced by the wrong people, self-esteem being low. It's just so many things, and it goes back, man, to the mental aspect of it. So, like I say, man, it's 6:17. I'm 2 minutes late with my mental health segment, part 2. So once again, man, I got another story once we get past this part of it. And then we'll get to my 4 new missing people that I have, all under the age of 18 years old. And what was shocking to me was that I actually had one story, and I guess what they're doing now is maybe giving the neighborhood where a person lived at, I'm thinking, and then maybe the place that the person went missing. Because Hyattsville story actually came across my desk this morning, but it came across my desk with the DC flyer. And as you all know, PG County, they say they don't have the funding. DC doesn't have the funding for a missing persons division. So I'm just glad that they are mixing DC up with Maryland. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for VA to get hooked. And but VA, man, they do their thing when a person goes missing, man. I mean, it's all on the news. Families rally together. They have big news conferences and press conferences and all that stuff, man. So our VA is totally different with a lot of things, you know what I mean? But anyway, man, we're going to hop all into it. Like I say, man, Boo Jones is in the building. I want to thank you, brother, for coming back for part 2. May is mental health awareness month. And I know last week we spoke, we got into the upbringing, and we got into even animals having mental health issues, which was something different for me. And then also we got into what leads to mental health issues. We spoke on different narcotics. One of them was the PCP, and we talked about tripping out. We talked about the aunts and the uncles and the old cousins lunching at the cookouts due to mental health issues. So now this week, Boo Jones, man, I wanted to speak on the cure of it, and just briefly, because I know it's a lot as far as what you do as counseling for the mental health, but I just want to speak on it. And I want to start with, is mental health curable?
I never heard of a so-called cure using those terms, but I heard of treated.
Treating, okay.
Yeah, it be treated, managed.
Okay.
So like to clarify, I am a psych counselor, right?
Okay.
With substance abuse. I'm a peer recovery coach.
Okay.
So I had
pre-recovery coach.
Peer recovery coach.
Peer?
Yeah.
PER.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So basically that's I took a class at Bowie State for substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And how to be an aid to those who suffer from substance abuse. So it's not the same criteria as substance abuse counselor, but I do the same things other than putting in the notes. Because I have experience in it. I've been doing it for basically 17 years, getting paid for it.
Okay.
But I've been in the field for 21 years. You know.
Okay. Then let me ask you, what is the first thing, Boo Jones? You got a new client, comes in having issues. I know it's a process. I know it's steps. It's not overnight. What would be the first thing that you tell them in reference to getting clean?
See, everybody has the, I feel this is my calling. So a lot of people, they might have the clinical approach, right? My approach is more personal, identifying in with the person, understanding where they at, meeting them where they at,
I got
per se. So, I mean, it's just like if I chop it up with you, Phil. You come into the unit, or a person comes into the unit. I say, man, what's happening, man? You done came into the best unit in the hospital. I said, now, I don't want to say it because I'm, to sound arrogant. I said, because it's not me. But everywhere I go, the big guy go with me.
Okay.
So I said, my life is God guided.
Okay.
So anybody in my life.
Then we're speaking on God.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, yeah.
Okay.
I said, anybody in my life is for a special purpose.
Okay.
It's all for the edification of that person to get better.
Okay.
I said, he don't just send me around people if I ain't to enhance their life in some kind of way.
Okay. What do you see most of as far as with your counselor with people? As far as, is it drugs? I mean, I know alcohol is a drug, but is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it, what do you see most of? What affects our people most? Put it that way. And you deal with all races, right? Not just
yeah.
primarily. Okay.
Well, the number one thing is trauma.
Okay.
It leads to mental health.
Okay. And maybe that's why they were using drugs or alcohol.
The underlying current is the trauma.
Okay. Would they tell you they use drugs why? To get away from?
Well, everybody
or to
got
escape?
a different
story.
Got a different story when it comes to it but the main thing is either you trying to create a feeling, trying to escape a feeling, or not even comfortable not knowing what you feel.
Wow. When you say you get personal, so they break everything down to you, background.
Nah, everybody don't have that level of honesty, a level of transparency.
Okay.
And that's
but you got to get that out of them, though.
I don't have to. Nah, I don't have to. I mean, but because either we water or we plant a seed. That's it, man. God make the increase. So I don't think that you necessarily had to be the one to get out of. Like I might be somebody that they can find in one area, and they might go to somebody else and they can find in other areas. But it takes a while because you're talking about coming out of an environment where you don't trust. And then you come in here, you think you're just gonna trust them because they work at this place? Nah. It's a process. Everything is a process. Especially everything in life is a process, but especially when it comes to this, it's definitely a process. And nobody can judge another person's process. First of all, let me say, like my man say, I don't have a gavel. And my man Captain Ruffin, second, he's
only two.
Yeah, I don't have a gavel. So I'm not into the judging. I'm just into being a servant.
Okay. Now, what I wanted to ask you, when you say trauma that turns to mental health, so somebody can go through childhood trauma, they already mentally kind of not on a level head,
coming out,
and then they say, "Well, let me go use this to try to escape." They indulge. It gets over. Probably, like you say, it's a process. Year after year, day after day, day after day. Next thing you know, you have a person that may just be hooked. Okay, it's 20 years later. I'm ready to change my life, man. I'm ready to get clean. But like you saying, boo, that trauma and mental is still there. Right?
Listen to what I said. It's manageable.
Oh, okay. Manageable. Never goes away.
Yeah, I mean, it's manageable. It's, pain shared is pain lessened.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of times, by human nature, we want to clam up. We don't want nobody to know our business. We don't. When we start feeling some pain, we want to shut down and isolate. But really, the best thing to do is not to isolate, even though that's against all we feel. So it's just learning the how to, just like anything else. You got to learn a how to. I mean, if you box, like when I was young, I used to box. But I thought I could fight. So my uncle started a boxing team out there in Alexandria, Virginia, ABC. And I remember when we all came, we was on the first team. And we all started we could fight. You know what I'm saying? So he said, let me see your stance. Man, people had all kind of wild stances. You know? And he said, man, hold up. He said, hold up. Because we want to do everything right away. We want to jump in the ring, put the gloves on. I want to spar him. I want to hit that bag. I want to do this. He said, man, look, you got to get your stance and and your balance together.
Okay.
Before you could do anything. So it's the same thing with anything in life. That concept, them principles are the same in any arena. For example, what you do here, Phil, you had to continuously train.
Right. Still training.
Yeah, still training.
Right.
So you never stop training.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, you had to train and you had to study, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So, and then you had to let some people guide you.
Exactly.
Even though you were just watching somebody.
Right.
You was taking their guidance.
Taking the guidance. Absolutely.
So that's the number one thing in recovery, being open to take somebody's guidance, being honest to the extent that you can be.
Okay.
And then being open to take the guidance and then being willing to try something different, something new.
Okay. Now.
And that's any recovery.
Okay.
Mental health or substance.
Break that down. Mental health recovery.
Yeah, because it's a recovery. I mean, it's a process before the trauma, with the trauma and the effect of the trauma. That's a process. So it's also a process of getting better.
Okay.
Right? But the foundation is all the same. Get a level of honesty, even if it's just a little bit. Even if the honesty is to be honest about the dishonesty, like one of my buddies said before. He said, man, I had to get honest about my dishonesty first.
Wow. So you got to know that you're being dishonest.
And it's self-awareness.
Wow. That makes sense, though. Wow. That makes sense. Let me ask you this, boo. Why do you do what you do?
Man, because I was one of those people that was traumatized. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those people who went through the hellfire. So, man, I mean, I'm grateful. And that's the number one reason. Because, man, I'm grateful because I ain't have to be here. I mean, we coming out these streets, man, especially in the DMV. Man, it was dangerous, man. I was on the street doing the murder capital stuff. I was right in Southeast. So I ain't had to be here. I mean, you see all these violence and they catching stray bullets.
Right.
They was killing. It was the murder capital of the United States.
United States, exactly, absolutely.
So you know, there was a lot of stray bullets out there.
Absolutely.
They ain't necessarily had to be meant for you.
Right.
But it was a lot.
Right.
I mean, I remember when the shotgun robber came up on 4th and Atlantic and shot at us. And we jumped over. All of us ran down 3rd Street, 3rd World, ran down the hill in the mud and everything. But when we came back up the hill, it was about 10 of us. Nobody got shot. That's just one instant.
Right.
There's many of them. So like I said, 21 years, I haven't touched anything. You know, so I'm grateful. And I've been in this war, because it's a war. Don't get it mixed up, it's a war.
War as far as?
It's our people getting better. We the squeaky wheel. Now, we do have other nationalities, and I don't discriminate.
Right. I got you.
But the squeaky wheel got to get the grease. And that's us.
That's heavy. So-called
Black America.
That's heavy. What other races have you worked with? Have you? I know you see more of us.
Man, look, this disease does not discriminate. It don't care if you got a doctor's degree.
That's what I wanted to get into.
Or if you come from the outhouse or the White House.
Right. That's what I wanted to get into, Boo. We got a lot of intelligent people, right?
Who suffer from the disease.
Right?
And mental health.
And mental health, right? Is off balance with us sometimes with people, or is it the pressure? I know doctors that some have used drugs, dentists, lawyers, pastors,
Einstein.
some of our prominent people. Exactly.
They say Einstein was a genius.
Right.
And they said, though that's what they said, but they said all the chemicals he used went straight to his head. And then they say Einstein started to wonder why his mind would float. But just like back in Southeast, it was something like the Love Boat. That's an old rhyme I used to say back in the day for Ace Deuce, man. I used to say that. But
now, I want to flip it, boo. You know how we do on Phocuz Radio. I want to flip it as far as the counseling part. You got a lot of patience for this, man. You got to have a lot of patience for this.
Oh yeah.
How do you maintain
I get
as
cussed out.
counseling a person?
I get cussed out on a daily basis, man.
Oh, really?
But what it is, like I said, everybody got their own call and their own gift.
Okay.
I stay consistent.
Okay.
And I stay loving.
Okay.
So the love sometimes be tough, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But consistency, most come around. It's very few, because you know in life we go by percentages.
Mm-hmm.
It's very few that we haven't developed a rapport.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it in D.C. for 17 years. Mm-hmm. So it's usually a revolving door if they're blessed to come back.
Gotcha.
So most of them I know.
You know, right?
Right. So
right.
like I was telling my supervisor, turn, don't do the. I said, man, me and him good.
Got you.
Cause we speak the same language, man.
Yeah.
I might say, man, chill out, man.
Yeah.
And then, man, I said, man, chill out, I got you. And when I tell them that, I do it. I don't just say I got you and blow no smoke up their butt, because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me. So when I see a client, I see me. I just think about, man, only by the grace of God that go out.
Damn. Heavy. Wow. You know what? With you saying that, like you telling your supervisor, man, I got this. I know him. Well, you know, whatever the case may be. I think it's more so of a, man, we got to break into the culture. You got to find some type of way to reach people. You don't, and I know you fly, but I'm saying you don't go to work with a suit and a doctor's fit and a psychologist and let's sit and talk and cross your feet, and we gotta, and I think, Boo, we need more and more counselors and people like you that understand the culture of a person first, because you got some of those people, man, with the degrees and these prominent people, and they ain't got the patience that you got. They can't break down and talk those people language.
And see, I'm out with the clients the majority of the time I'm there. I did not want to.
You say you out with them?
Yeah, in the unit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm out there with them, man.
It's an in-house joint you in. Is it a?
I always worked at the place where the client stayed at.
Oh, okay.
But they stay for different lengths of time here.
Got you.
Like other places I worked at, they stayed for 28 days. Some stayed for 90 days. But this place where I'm at, it's just more of a stabilization. It's more of a for them to come in there and detox.
Okay. So
then we send them to another treatment center for more time if they want to.
Okay. You mentioned
it's their choice.
Got you. On a person?
Yeah, it's their choice. Yeah, it's not forced.
So this is free will if you want to get yourself together.
Yeah, it's for people who want it, not for people who need it, man.
And when you say you give them the tough love part, come back and see me when you're ready.
I give them tender love. It's like you cannot explain your gift. I can't sit and verbalize what God do through me with just my regular personality. Not no special, like I'm nobody special than nobody else. It's just me being who he made me to be, and it works in this arena.
So you are living your passion, man. You're living your truth. That's a great thing, though. To be able to go to work and be happy as far as what you're doing and be able to relate to people. It's kind of like my job, boo. Like in property management, I got to deal with, and we got fair housing laws, and we got to be fair to everybody, and I'm with that. But some people, man, I got to approach them just different.
Yeah.
I'm within my guidelines legally in property management.
And respectfully.
Definitely that, right?
You gotta have that.
You gotta have that. I just treat everybody the same way. I don't care if you got a voucher. I don't care if you came through a domestic violence program. I don't care if you homeless. You are my resident. Make sure I can take care of you as best of my ability I can. I want them to say, man, Phil did a good job, man. I like him. I like working with him. And that's my whole thing, man.
Is it fair to say, Phil, that we are in the same arena?
Oh, definitely.
It's service. Definitely. It's service work.
Definitely, man. Dealing with people, man.
Anytime you're dealing with people, you in a position of being a servant.
Right.
And
I spoke about that stewardship when we was back at
stewardship.
Back at Hustle Firm 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. What I want to get into, boo. I want you to break down. I hope I'm saying it correctly. I know you can correct me. The Narcan can am I saying that right? Not for heroin addicts or for addicts that brings them back. The reason I'm bringing it up is, boo, because I have been watching the news. They actually want to put this in schools because we have so many of, I'm not even going to say the black and brown people, but like you say, I'm not going to discriminate at the end of the day, but we have so many of those other people, children, way out, and these parents got a lot of money, and they opioids or heroin, the fentanyl, whatever it may be, they are ODing in the schools, and they want to put the Narcan cans in there. Am I saying that correct?
First of all, that's not my lane. But
I mean,
I got people.
What would that do mentally to a child, though?
I got people. I try to stay connected to people that's in service in whatever aspect. So my buddy, good buddy of mine, like a brother, him and his buddy. They over there in Greenway, over in Minnesota Avenue Southeast. They pass out the Narcan. So shout out to Skeets. He and this was a guy who transitioned back into community and doing well in the community. And my buddy that I mentioned is John Davis, and me and him been rocking as buddies in this endeavor for over 21 years. So we've been supportive of one another's whatever we doing and working in this type of field. And they over there doing the Narcan, man. So all I know about the Narcan is it's been working.
It's been working.
But they said now it's some strains coming out that is Narcan resistant.
It can't resist it?
No, it resists the Narcan, so you don't come back to
some
Narcan.
strains coming out resisting
the fentanyl, yeah. That it's not gonna bring you back. So you think about this, man. All these pestilence, they evolve and adapt to the stuff we use.
I see what you're saying. I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was told, man, that there's a new strain out. And I don't know too much about that, so I stay in my lane.
You stay in your lane. I got you. And that's what I was saying earlier when I came on. I said, I like to get facts out on Phocuz Radio. And if I can't, I like to
that's why I tell people I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. Yeah. Man, I'm a man.
Experience.
Yeah, I'm talking about my experience and what I have experience on a regular basis and what I've seen with the percentages. You know,
where are we at with that as far as percentages? As far as substance abuse and those, I mean, has it?
We still losing the battle. It's more dying and living a miserable lifestyle. Just continuing to use in spite of the consequences. So that's what addiction does. It makes us use in spite of the consequences. Like my man Phil Jones, one of the counselors there, him and Mr. Parker. You know, I learned a lot from them. But
I think Mr. Parker came on Was that Mr. Parker that came? I think
Nah, he never came.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to get him in field in here one time. You know what I'm saying? I hook you up with him. But man, the
But it all
battle,
ties in together, like,
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to speak on it, Boo, because a lot of, like you said, the mental health issues are from trauma. Then we have, like you always say, are in the recovering stages, and may come back this aspect of it, but may not come back on this aspect of it. I've seen recovering addicts, and like you were saying, like we cracked the jokes, Boo, right? When we was growing up, we didn't know, we wasn't educated, and I've seen those people and say, man, damn, I remember he was, he ain't using no more, but now look at her or look at him. And like you said, it ties in together, because eventually, like you was telling us last week, if you continue, you are going to crash.
see the thing is, first of all, if you got the disease of addiction, not the disease of a substance, and people who not educated, they say, "Oh man," like you said earlier, you said about the alcohol. You know now that alcohol is a drug,
Exactly.
So it's all conclusive, right? So I wouldn't say alcohol and drugs because of my experience. So I know that it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But if you got disease of addiction, you don't have to be using for the disease to be active. You know what I'm saying? It comes in other areas of your life, but you got a better chance without the substance, because definitely somebody with that disorder is allergic to any mind, mood, altering substance.
Oh, okay. That's what I was getting. Okay, gotcha.
So it's a
Gotcha.
difference. Like cigarettes, gambling, and stuff like that, they're mood altering. You know what I'm saying? You can get, but the addicted person can get the same effect with those things: sugar, caffeine, sex, and all that. Yeah, but the mind, mood altering substance, I ain't never seen no one, even though all these things are not good for you, health wise, or emotion or mental wise. Have you ever seen somebody smoke a regular cigarette? And I'm not endorsing cigarettes. I don't smoke no more. But have you ever seen somebody smoke a regular cigarette and somebody say, man, you showed your ASS last night? Never. I ain't talking about no dipper or nothing. I'm talking about just a regular old cigarette.
Yeah.
Now, it's not good for your health,
Right.
but people who are uneducated will try to lump them together. They'll think cigarettes and
Newport
PCP is the same thing. They think somebody who snort dope is the same as somebody who gambling.
Yeah.
And it's, trust me, it's the same concept, because the disease of addiction will have you mess your money up with gambling, just like you mess your money up. It'll have your life, what you call, out of order, right? All of it, if not treated, right? But believe me, the mind, mood altering substance will have you do something that you can't come back from. So, but it's up to the individual to identify if they got disease of addiction or not. That's the sad part. But I can't go tell you got it. You got to have. Yeah, you got to be the one to say, man, look, I need the help. I got a problem. My life is unmanageable.
What? Oh, okay. My life is unmanageable.
Yeah, and I need help.
Wow.
I can't do it by myself.
Heavy. Right here, y'all. We on Phocuz Radio, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Featuring Boo Jones, part 2 of our mental health segment. But we just break it down. I think we got one more, either 1 or 2 more shows of the mental health thing. So I gotta kind of speed it up. I gotta get my my missing segment in. But it all ties in, like Boo Jones says. Boo Jones, we got a 10-year-old who was shot in D.C. On Mother's Day. Wow. Riding in the car. Ariana Davis, pronounced dead at the hospital yesterday. I think it's been a week now since Mother's Day, almost. And riding in the car, 3700 block of Hayes Street, Northeast. The Mayfair
Stop right there. On the Mayfair side.
Yeah,
because my family live on the other side.
Yeah, I know you're telling me. I got a lot of people on that side too. Mayfair.
My uncles and cousins, they grew up on that side.
Now,
Hayes Street actually too, but it's on the Nanny Hannon Barrel side.
Now the thing I tie this in. We got a few minutes on this, But the thing is, 84 homicide victims in the district this year. She's the youngest of 7 juveniles to be fatally shot. 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and that's just this year. Now, I want to speak on, we say trauma that these parents that's going to have, man, for the rest of their life, man. I couldn't fathom, boo, me having any child that would lose their life, especially to gun violence, man. But these parents that have to cope with this, man. The 17-year-old that was killed yesterday in front of Roosevelt High School, we tie the mental part into that because he was being bullied, right? How does a child deal with this mentally, with this social media? It's just on so many different levels, but I wanted to bring back to the mental thing of the trauma that these parents would go through, man, for the rest of their lives, losing their babies.
Now, I'm going to say this because it's on my heart. If any children or any parent is here, allow the help to help you, man, because it's help out here. And what I find the most is pushback.
You find that from parents?
From parents and from anybody who
but
not
wanting to take the help to help their
yeah.
children?
Well, thinking we know what to do when we ain't did it yet.
You mean professional help? You mean
help from somebody who can help you get out the dilemma or help you educate you and guide you. See, because we need guidance. For me to get better, I had to let somebody show me how to do better. I had to be honest that I didn't know. Mm-hmm. I had to be open to suggestions because it's still my choice. Mm-hmm. And then I had to be willing to try something new, something different. Mm-hmm. Because if not, I'm going to be stuck on the hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. So that's the number one thing that I plead to a lot of people. It's a lot of help out here. It's a lot of people out here like myself who reaching a hand across the aisle. Mm-hmm. Man, take the help. Because it's only 3 things going to end up with that lifestyle. I mean, that little girl, she didn't have a lifestyle. But I'm talking to the ones who doing it. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because she ain't going to get hit by a bullet, ain't nobody shooting. Mm-hmm. Think about what I'm saying. So I'm talking to the ones who are doing it. Man, look.
But it got to be something
institutions and depth.
But it got to... Yeah, that too, though, boo. But I get that part of it, what you're saying. But when we are speaking on a 10-year-old or they're beefing whatever may happen, or the 17-year-old that was murdered in front of his school, right? Mentally, boo, man, to me, it has to be something wrong with these youngins, man.
Man, we got to start from the seed, man. Look, if you passing down information, good, bad, or indifferent, it's generational. Mm-hmm. Pass down. It get watered down as people tied to what the government say and all this. Come on, man, because what worked for us, even though we might have got off track, we got back on track because we from the seed, we got some good instructions. We can still choose to do what we want to do, but a lot of us done got on track now. So, man, it started with the seed. It started with educating the whole environment, not just the kids. Because you educate the kids, they go home to a sick parent.
Heavy. 17-year-old shot outside of Roosevelt High School, located once again in Northwest D.C., Jefferson Perez. Don't have many updates. I don't have much time. I got to get into my missing person segment. I actually had 5 minutes. We got, I think, maybe 2 more shows, boo, man, a part 3 and a part 4.
You love it. Huh? This is good stuff, man.
That was great stuff, man. Great stuff. I thank you for coming through, man. Like I said, I had to bring somebody involved in the culture, and we break it down to a level where people can understand.
And we doing some other things on other segments I like to plug. Okay. Because we got to work together, man. Man in the Mirror is last Thursday, and you used to be a part of every month, and we coming in with stuff that Phocuz Field is doing. We doing things to try to make this place better. This little garden we living on.
Gotcha.
A better place. And then I'm doing also been blessed to do Go Round Table with Boo Jones up close.
Spoke on that.
So man, with Kevin Ruffin, but the Man in the Mirror crew now is Amy Cakes, my man Nate Jenkins, and Rodney Grimes.
Okay.
So I just wanted to encourage everybody who's doing help. Don't get worried in your way of doing. That's you too, Phil.
I got you.
Don't get worried, man. That's good stuff, man.
I got you. Let's go to our missing, B. This is Audrey Thomas, 4,000 block of Clay Place, Northeast DC. Currently missing. She's been missing since Tuesday, May the 17th, 2023. Reported at 8:23 a.m. Like I say, once again, she's 15 years old. Described as a black female, medium complexion, 5 feet 4 inches in height, 110 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt, blue jeans, and flip-flops, meaning that maybe she stepped out. She did not come back home. Kenise Spencer, I think she was on my last show, unit block of Hawaii Avenue. She's been missing since Tuesday once again, the same day that Audrey had went missing. Reported at 8 a.m. in the morning. Audrey was reported at 8:23 a.m. in the morning. Seeking the public's help. She's 16. Last seen, once again, unit block of Hawaii Street. 5 feet, 7 inches in height, 170 pounds, red hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing a navy blue jacket and black pants. Donnell Pilzer, 5600 block, 13th Street Northwest. She was reported missing on Tuesday, May the 16th. All these young girls reported missing on Tuesday, May the 16th. This is wow. Described as a black female, 5 feet 4 inches in height, 150 pounds, black, blue braids, and brown eyes. That would be something distinctive. Black, blue braids, and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a purple shirt with a picture of Prince on it. I think one of Boo Jones' favorite. On the front,
Yeah, right.
on the front,
I love
on the
good,
front,
good artist.
and gray biker, excuse me, shorts. Something unique. If she's still wearing the same outfit, will be, of course, the Prince shirt. Prince may help us find out missing. Isn't that ironic?
And real quick, I didn't get a chance to say about Pep Rally Peace in the Street. I'm gonna invite you down there to that field.
Okay.
That's a good reach across the aisle type situation with Gary Clark and them.
Okay.
I speak at their thing, the Juneteenth thing.
Okay.
Every year, man, and you definitely can come down there and get a platform to speak to the people about missing people.
I would love it. Pep, I'm there, man. Give me the date. I got Nakia Ford, 7600 block of Covent Gardens Court, Hyattsville, Maryland. But the Metro Police Department is seeking our assistance in locating her, man. She's 15 years old, black female, medium complexion, 5 feet 6 inches in height, 215 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, was last seen wearing a green shirt, black hoodie, blue jeans, black shoes. What would be something unique? She had on a green shirt, my favorite color. Once again, man, Boo Jones is in the building, man. Look him up on Facebook. It's simple, BOOJONES. And we'll have some more information for you, man. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, putting it down with the Black Pond game. And they got a clothing line and also empowering the community, man. That's all we doing. Week after that, we got the owner, Milk and Honey. She's coming through. One of her employees was shot and killed 16-year-old up in Forestville, Maryland, 3 days ago. You already know what it is, man. We are focused. We are out. Peace.
If you know what I mean.